The countdown is on, but you're not alone. This is Countdown to College, your weekly guide from Education Quest Foundation, here to help you plan, apply, and pay for college one step at a time. I'm your host, Gage, and today I am joined by Gabi Perez-Patterson, Assistant Director of Admissions at Chadron State College. Hi, Gabi. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Gage. Thanks for inviting me to speak with you guys today.
So, we all know that college can be pretty overwhelming and a little bit scary when you first start out. So, today, Gabby and I are going to kind of help you tackle some of those fears and hopefully get rid of any of those campus scaries that you can run into your first couple months. So, we both know the transition from high school to college is a pretty big one. So, when students first arrive on campus, what's usually just like the biggest surprise about college life?
Um, I think one of the biggest things that students are surprised about is really just how much freedom you have suddenly, and how quickly that freedom really comes with responsibility. You are in charge of your schedule. You are in charge of yourself. And it's very exciting. It's such an exciting time, but it can also be a little overwhelming. Suddenly, you're in charge of managing that time and staying on top of your assignments and figuring out, do you want a job? Do you want to join some student organizations? I think it's really important for everyone to remember that you got to find your rhythm. You have to find what that independence means for you, because it's one of the best parts of college life and growing up, but it also can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it's very different from, class period one, two, three, track practice,
Oh,
rehearsal
yeah.
done. Like,
Yes, no longer 8 hours of school a day with practice right afterwards. You might have only one class a day, and then you got to suddenly figure out how to fill up the rest of your time. And you still have classwork, and you still have entertaining times where you want to meet with your friends, and you got to figure out when you're going to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
hmm.
And so it's a lot of scheduling and managing your time.
Yeah, I remember the first time I had a one class period semester day, I was like, so what do I do with the rest of the day? Like,
Yes, that was kind of my first semester. I had a couple classes and I was like, I was always a student. I didn't really have to try. I never really studied for stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, shoot, I actually have to like plan my day and do those things. So,
now, another big part of the college experience and college life is roommates, of course. And they can be an amazing experience or they can kind of be, something out of a horror movie. So,
yes. Yeah.
what advice do you have for like, handling any conflicts or differences with a new roommate? Maybe it's your first time ever living with somebody else.
Yeah. I think we're really kind of starting to see that a lot more where you've never had to share your space before. And I know what I'm going to say is very cliche, but communication, it really is everything. And that doesn't necessarily mean like you have to have a very scripted, contracted, this is my time in the room, this is my time, I'm inviting this in front. No. I think the respect and that open communication, um, and setting boundaries of what that looks like for both people, is important. Having that calm conversation, don't react to everything, and also just seeing where they're coming from, trying to be empathetic. I would say along those lines as well. If you do have conflict, it happens. It's a normal part of life. Really relying on an outside party. Every residence hall has some form of resident advisor or resident director, that's responsible for the floor or the entire hall, and making sure that you use them as a mediator if it's necessary. If you can't mediate and resolve the conflict yourself, using that unbiased outside party to help you come to a solution, I think is really important. You'll have to use that conflict resolution, those skills, and for the rest of your life, so might as well start it early. But yeah, I guess my best suggestion really is just set those boundaries early. Be open. You can be besties if you really want to, or you don't have to be. You're sharing that living space.
Yeah, I remember my roommates and I had a like chore marker board that we used because
Ooh.
otherwise I don't know, we were all lazy, and so it helped us all to at least have it written down somewhere. And that
Yeah.
helped us avoid, some conflict at least. And like you said, it's always nice to have that third party, just to be unbiased and give you some advice and help out.
Yeah, and keep from the tension, keep from getting those emotions rising and reacting, maybe not how you wanted to react, but because the situation was a little bit more tense than you thought. It helps just remove that emotion from it so you can look at it clearly, I think. Because I'm that person. Sometimes I need to just step away for a second to clear my head.
Yeah. Now, we talked about how big the transition from high school to college is. And like we talked about also, many students find that shift very interesting, especially if they're used to that strict high school schedule. And
Yes.
so, how can they like really balance, setting class times with managing their free time effectively?
I think you have to find what structure means to you. And just what I mean by that, we kind of talked about it earlier, is you're treating your day like it is a work day. You have to go to class. Please go to class. That's my little disclaimer from it. Then you set aside hours for you to study or read your required materials, complete assignments. Um, you don't get me wrong. I am not suggesting you don't take a nap. You might need one really for your mental health or well-being. But I would say try to keep track and keep yourself on that structured timeline just so that you know you're getting the things done that you need to in a day. Also, use a planner if you need one, or that I love my Outlook calendar. I stick by it to a T. Um, it helps you keep track of those deadlines and commitments. Um, and you can schedule in personal time if you need to as well, which is important in a day. Like I said, referring to the nap, if you need to get away from the desk and just go do a quick workout or take a walk, find something that relaxes you because that balance is really important so you don't feel that burnout with it.
hmm Yeah, we've heard from a lot of students that, I mean, not everyone's a planner person. I'm a planner person personally, and I
Oh,
love my
same.
Outlook calendar too. But I mean, we've heard just from students in general that like setting some sort of routine, even if they don't necessarily like write it down, has really helped them out. Um, just
Yeah.
managing their time and feeling some sort of structure, even if it's, self-imposed.
Yeah. Well, and you just spent what, the last 12 years straight of school having that structure provided to you. And now you suddenly don't have it. Stick to that structure if that's what helps you get through that day. And it keeps you on track and it's not that really that out of place for you to continue with that structure anyways.
Yeah, a big part of that, time that you need to set aside is for the increased academic workload, which happens with
Hmm.
college. I mean, you have a lot of
Yes.
homework in high school, I'm sure, with high school and AP classes, all that. But once you get into college, and especially your specialized majors, things can kind of start to pile up a little bit. So how can students kind of keep up with that without, hitting burnout?
Um, Again, go back to this is going to be a little cliche, but procrastination, don't let it be an option. Um, you start by staying ahead. If you know that the beginning of the semester, we always call it syllabus day, first day of class, right? Your teachers will outline all of the requirements for that class ahead of time. Put in important dates into your planner if you're a planner person. Highlight that those are big requirements. That way you can break up a large project into smaller, more manageable pieces. It doesn't get as overwhelming that way. And really just recognize that you don't have to do it all the night before. Actually, please don't do it all the night before. It's the best for you. It's the best for the project, your coursework. Um, but I also think on top of it, it's very important. Ask for help when you need it. We have so many supports built in to make sure students have that have support. Chadron State, for example, specifically, although other schools have other versions of this as well, we have tutoring. We have the learning center, the learning lab, where you can go for writing help or help if you just need citation formatting, advising with your advisors or a trusted staff member. All of our professors have office hours and they're very approachable people. We all want to see you succeed. So I guess what I'm saying, like, ask for that help. It's all free. It's all provided to you, and use it to make sure that you can do the best work you can.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a big through line with a lot of the people we interview from colleges that are like, just ask for help. Like we're here, we want to help
Yeah.
you. And I know it's a big hurdle, especially when you first, get into college. There's so many new people. Your professors are brand new to
Yes.
you. So it is scary to ask for help, but like seriously, like they're there to help. They want to help you.
We really are. Everybody, no matter what staff member you're talking to or a faculty member, your professors, your advisors on your floors, your residence halls, even the people that work in student activities, everybody is there really to support you and make sure you have all of those accesses and resources you might need.
Speaking of meeting new people, that's a pretty big thing for college students when they first go is how am I going to make new friends? How am I going to build a new social circle? It can be pretty intimidating. So, do you have any strategies to kind of help students connect with others and feel a little less isolated?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm gonna tell my story. This is a part where I like to like share about me. Um, so I started at CSC in 2013, way back when, before dinosaurs existed, all of that. But I, as outgoing as I might seem here, I was pretty introverted. I stayed in my room. I didn't really do anything besides hung out with my roommate, did my homework, went to class, came back. I didn't get a job in the beginning. I didn't really need to with my scholarships. Um, so I didn't really get to meet very many people, and I honestly was not a fan. I I'm from about 8 hours away from Chadron, so I didn't have that support group where I was at too. I missed my family. I missed my siblings. I didn't do anything. So I didn't really get to experience that college life. And I think the best thing that happened was speaking with my family and my parents. My dad was like, "You got to try it. Give it a full year." I would consider transferring because I was homesick. Um, so that second semester, I was a cheerleader in high school, and a dancer, and so I joined the cheer team. I started helping to plan events, and I got involved on campus. I got a job. I started working as an admissions ambassador for Chadron State, giving tours and meeting new students. And that really helped me to make my home away from home, and make my, like, I always call it my family, my friend family, because I couldn't just go home over the weekend. I needed that support. So, to anyone who feels isolated, just know you're not alone. It's not exclusive, but that doesn't mean that we don't want to validate how you feel. Um, Everyone feels that way at first. I think you just really need to try to get out there and go explore what's available to you. The best way to combat that homesickness is to meet friends and go to a campus event, join a club, participate in intramural sports. It gets easier over time, and every community has tons for you to do. Chadron State's really friendly, in my personal opinion, but every campus has that opportunity for students too. So,
Yeah, thank you for sharing that because I know, that is so many students go through that same exact thing, especially like students like you who moved so far away from their hometown. I was fortunate to live only an hour away from UNL where I went. But
mhm,
even still, that's still an hour. And so there was definitely time
exactly.
at the very beginning where I was like wallowing in my dorm and I was like, I think I need to go do something. Like,
Yes. Yeah, it's far enough. You still have to schedule that going home period. And you can't just make that trip all the time. But figuring out, and having those supports, it also helps so that you don't miss out on the college experience too.
yeah, and I mean, talking about, moving to a new town or like a new campus, it's a big adjustment, especially if you've, moved away 8 hours like you did. how can students get comfortable in a new environment outside of just, making new friends and meeting new people?
It's a good question. I would say explore. Put on your adventurer hat, walk around campus, check out local restaurants and businesses, attend community events, not just campus events. Getting involved helps you feel at home faster and really encourages that sense of belonging to a place when you know that, oh, I can just go pick up some coffee at Just Love or the Bean Broker in town. All Chadron local places. So FYI. I think people forget that it's okay to miss home. It really is. Give yourself some grace during that adjustment period, but also give yourself permission to enjoy the new experiences.
Yeah, that's great. And we talked a little bit already about the stress that can come with college and new assignments, new people,
Mhm.
being so far away from home. What are just some healthy ways for students to kind of cope with all of that when they start to feel overwhelmed?
I would say you need to find what works best for yourself. There's not one way to solve that overwhelming feeling, but there are ways you can manage it individually or as a group. Um, I like to go and work out. Lets me put all my energy and focus straight to a problem that I can figure out right there, whether it is lifting or I'm a big dancer too. So, do dance of some sort, exercising at the gym, getting out and out from behind the desk that you are at and making sure that you put some energy towards something else is important. Um, maybe it's reading or an outing with some friends, getting off of campus. Um, I wouldn't be afraid also with that too to reach out for support. We offer free counseling services. Use it. Those licensed student counselors are there to support our students. They are designated specifically for students. And so they can help you think through a problem. Even if you just go one time, you need one, again, that unbiased outside perspective to help you get through a problem or a concern or any kind of thing that you need to think through. They're there for you. There's also advisors, if you have a trusted staff member. I remember the faculty member that was my advisor throughout my undergraduate experience, was also the person who hooded me at my master's ceremony. So for me, that's somebody on campus that I really have a close relationship with, somebody I know I can talk to if I have questions. So you're not alone in feeling overwhelmed or stressed. There's plenty of resources and that we're here to help with you.
Yeah, like we said earlier, do not be afraid to ask for help.
Yes, please don't.
Now, talking more about getting involved on campus, how can students find like the right clubs, organizations, or activities to join without, overloading themselves too much at once?
Yeah. Um, I think there's a number of ways you can do that. Um, Throughout the year, especially in the beginning of the year, there are every student organization and every club, they host events throughout the year, right? And it's just a way to showcase what they have to offer, their groups, everything going on. There's also we have student organization. What am I trying to say? Club fairs. Excuse me. We have club fairs that students can go, a way to showcase those groups as well, all conveniently located in one room, so you can go through. However, that can be overwhelming. So attend one of their events. You don't have to stay the whole time. You can leave if you feel it's not for yourself. But you can find a couple things that you're interested in, whether it's an academic club or a service organization. Maybe it's an intramural sport, or maybe it's you like to plan events and you like to host parties. Well, maybe the pit is for you. Um, Finding something you're interested in there, I think the best way is to really go in person and see it. You can look it up online as well if that's something you want to do your research beforehand. However, being there, talking to the people, I think it really helps you get an idea of what they're all about and if it fits your what you're looking for in a group.
Yeah, I was a theater major actually, and so it wasn't until I like actually joined, there was like a student theater company on campus. And it wasn't
Oh,
until I
cool.
finally joined that I was like, oh, these are my people. Like this is where I was
Yes.
supposed to be.
And how long did it take you to join them? Like from when you started to when you were a part of it?
I think it was my sophomore year. My freshman year, I was very scared. I was kind of like I talked
Yeah.
about, I was like, I don't want to join anything yet. I'm just trying to experience everything, get acclimated. Um, and that is what really helped like break me out of my shell,
Yeah.
honestly.
So it wasn't immediate. It's you take your time to figure out what you want to do and get involved in, and that's totally okay.
Yes. Going back just a second to talk about a little closer, talk about homesickness. Do you have any advice for students who want to stay close to family and friends who are back home while you're still trying to, juggle college life?
I would say you can stay connected with we're in the time of no more really like snail mail, have to schedule out that phone call. You can do a quick call or a FaceTime. You can send a text to check in. I wouldn't let, how do I want to say that? I would say it's really important to stay connected. Um, and I'm going to say this, but bear with me. Don't let it hold you back from being present on campus. Um, like for example, for myself, I could not go home every single weekend. It just didn't work for me. That's an 8 hour drive one way and then the 8 hour drive back. So it didn't work out for me. I connected with my family as much as possible. We're very close. So I wanted to schedule that time. I can always FaceTime them. If they don't answer, I know they're busy. Um, but also, there's a ton of opportunities for you to experience new experiences, even over the weekend. So I would say stay connected. Again, referring back to my first statement, it's really easy to text, call, FaceTime, send a letter. Parents send some care packages. We love those things. Um, but also, a part of the growth comes from building your own community, part of your adult growth. So I would say it's really important for you to explore those options.
Yeah, that's great. Now, sleep is
Oh,
something that
yes.
often gets sacrificed in college. There's that trope of pulling all-nighters before like final exams or,
Yeah.
everything at the end of a semester that comes. So, can you just talk a little bit about why sleep is so important and how students can try to prioritize it with a busy schedule?
Yes. I will say, and this is the hill that I'm standing on here, sleep affects everything. It really does. And I know we always say it, we really do, but it affects your mood. It affects your focus, your mental health, your overall well-being, how you actually work on how do you complete a test, how all of those things that go with it. When you stay up late or pull an all-nighter, it catches up quick and it does affect how you do on those tasks, whether you are a student doing your midterms or your finals, or maybe it's an athlete who didn't finish their homework and they travel the next day. It's okay to say no and to set that boundary and say, I gotta just be done and go to sleep. The thing is everybody wants to see you succeed, and when you don't get a good night's sleep, or when you let your homework, schoolwork, life work affect your sleep, you people can really tell. So make sure to put your phone away. Don't do the scrolling endlessly before bed. Say no to that one more episode or the late night hangout time. Set yourself up for success. And when in doubt, ask someone for help too. You can always say, hey, I have too much. I travel this week. Is it okay if I turn this in on Monday? Or I have my midterms and I need to prioritize these. Would I be able to get an extension? Talk to your professors. They want to see you succeed. Talk to coaches. You shouldn't let your mental health or well-being struggle, just to make sure you can do it all.
Yeah, and if you're one of those people who's like, it won't catch up to me, I promise you, I'm 23. If I get like 6 hours of sleep, even, it's over for me for the day. So, like,
Yes. Solid 8 hours of sleep for me.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Gabby, I have one final question for you. So, between, late night pizza and limited budgets, how can
Mm,
students keep their physical and mental health a priority?
I get it. Dr. Pepper's my weakness, really. I I totally understand that sometimes you want to treat yourself or what's convenient and easy is maybe not the healthiest for you. But you have to remember that taking care of yourself physically also involves your diet and your exercise. Um, you you want to feel good. And Dr. Pepper is maybe not super conducive to that for myself, my well-being. So remember that it's all about balance. It's okay to enjoy that soft serve machine in the dining hall, it really is. But also make sure that you get some fruits and veggies on your plate too. Um, and staying active. If you're not somebody who likes to work out with a structured workout, maybe join a group fit activity where you can have some other people there to encourage you too. Or maybe it's go on a walk. Take your friends, go and walk. You ride your bike around campus. Finding ways to stay active that works for you, I think is really important because you want to be able to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then you don't want to do it and you won't. So it's all about growth again. But I think figuring out what is going to be a good schedule and routine for yourself with ways to deflate and staying healthy while you do it, just doing all the things, right?
Okay, I think that wraps us up. Thank you again, Gabby, for joining us.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me on.
And to our audience, if you ever need any help with anything college related, you can contact an Education Quest office near you for free help. We have tons of offices throughout the state, but you can also make virtual appointments if you don't want to come in. You can find our contact information or schedule an appointment at educationquest.org. While you are there, make sure you sign up for the weekly Countdown to College email that is filled with tons of college tips and tricks and deadlines and reminders, all that good stuff. And finally, just help us get this message out to as many students and families as possible by subscribing to this podcast on your favorite platform and hitting the like button on this episode. Thank you for watching and listening, and we will see you next week.